start getting ready. We got a few minutes. We'll have the prayer by Councilor Marujo and pledge by Council Lady Moore, if she would, please. I mean, as many colors as she is today, she's really colorful. Looks good. Okay. Just gonna click here in a second.
Man, you got everyone's attention.
Call this meeting to order of the City Council regular meeting on Thursday, June 12th. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Halverson? Here. Councilor Oropesa?
Here.
Councilor Moore?
Here.
Councilor Cavan is absent today. Councilor Korn?
Here.
Councilor Cortez?
Present.
Councilor Hildebrand?
Present.
Councilor Arnold? Present. Councilor Johnson?
Here.
Councilor Marujo?
Here.
Mayor, you have the floor.
Okay, if you please stand for the prayer by Councilor Marujo and a pledge by Council Lady Moore, please.
Father God, we come before you and give you all glory and honor, Father God. We ask you to give us the wisdom in our decisions today, Father God. We ask you to bless everybody that's here, Father God. We ask for blessings over our law enforcement, Father God, our first responders, for our nation, Father God. We give you all the glory and honor, Father God. Thank you for all you've done for us. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's somewhat light, so light agenda tonight. If we don't talk too much, I guess we'll get out of here pretty quick. Maybe, but maybe not. So, thank you, everybody, for coming. We're missing Councilor Cavan, but other than that, we got a full house, so thank you all very much. So the first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Councilor Halverson.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the agenda for the June 12, 2025 regular city council meeting with the following changes. Move item 25 to the consent agenda. Appointments of Brandon Candelaria and Kurt Harrison to the Commission on Aging Committee. On page
Item 25.
25.
Yeah, it's on the third page.
Thank you.
On page 148, under board and committee action, change Hildebrand to 4.
148.
I'm sorry?
How do I get it forward?
So page 148, under board and committee action, change Hildebrand to 4.
That is cool.
Where's that?
And then pull item number 5 off of the consent agenda and place it before item 24. So pull item number 5 off the consent agenda and place it before item 24. And the final change is pull item number 7 off the consent agenda because it's a duplicate of number 8.
What's the last one, Councilor?
Pull item number 7 off the consent agenda, it's a duplicate of number 8.
And also, Item 19 is recognition of Amen Kehoe for this proper disposal of the flag. That will be in next month's meeting, so you can pull item 19 as well. And I believe that's all the changes we have. So we have a motion by Councilman Halverson and a second by Councilman Johnson. Any further discussion? All right, if the clerk will call the roll.
Counselor Halverson,
Yes.
Counselor Oropesa,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Corn,
Yes.
Counselor Cortez,
Aye.
Counselor Hildenbrand,
Aye.
Counselor Arnold,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
Counselor Marujo.
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Motion passes 9-0. Okay. Okay, next we have the items on consent.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda as amended, presented for the June 12, 2025 regular city council meeting.
Second.
As amended.
As amended.
Yes, we have Counselor Halverson.
I'll second.
Second, well, I think we had Counselor Marujo. Is there any further discussion? If the clerk call the roll.
Counselor Halverson,
Yes.
Counselor Oropesa,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Corn,
Yes.
Counselor Cortez,
Aye.
Counselor Hildenbrand,
Aye.
Counselor Arnold, Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
and Counselor Marujo.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, so. Hold on through 14. Okay, so that takes us down to non-action airport updates, this, Bobby Thompson. You know, next time the governor comes to town, I'm gonna get that one of those boxes of her so you can sit up there and see something.
And I'll take it,
Would you like a little higher one?
as long as I get the microphone, I can do it.
If you were Nikita Khrushchev, you know, he always wanted to be a little higher so he could throw his shoe.
I'd be afraid I'd bounce.
Oh, well, you remember him. There's not many of us that probably wouldn't in the room, but anyway. Yes, Ms. Thompson.
So, good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. Pleased to be in front of you again this evening. So what I'd like to talk to you about first is some of the activities going on at the airport, which are many. Projects that we have that Mr. Kunkel will be talking about in a few minutes, but I just want to give you an idea of ongoing projects that are all related to air center improvements, rehabilitation, and new items. While he'll talk the specifics, I just want to let you know that before December, through very many grants that we've been able to achieve and receive, we'll be spending $17 million improving your airport. And we're very happy about being able to do that. And then, of course, you just approved the 5-year capital plan. And the 5-year capital plan over the next 5 years adds another almost $50 million in projects. Now, the airport portion of that, we have covered through airport revenues, so we will not be asking the general fund for any money. The airport will pay for its own improvement and additions, and we hope to even achieve more in the coming years to really be able to turn our airport into the best airport in the state. We have a number of pre-bids coming up, as well as advertisements in the newspaper, and then of course selections at the usual 2 o'clock at the City Hall, and those will be projects for electric bulb replacement as well as rehabilitation of a taxiway that was damaged during the COVID period because they parked heavier aircraft than it could handle, so we need to do a 4-inch film fill, and that we'll be talking about that shortly. Then I'd like to give you some more numbers, So aircraft parking, which as you folks know, There's a number of aircraft parked on the airport, and it fluctuates some. And the last month, it went up again to 205 parked aircraft that we collect rent on based on size and weight. I believe with some things that are happening in the industry, that number will continue to grow over the next few months. Passenger boarding. In 2024, for the month of May, 3,879 passengers. In 2025, for the same period, 5,713. So you can see that our passenger loads are increasing, and we're leaning very hard, not only on American and the flights that they have, but also on attracting new carriers, which we'll be back to you with some more information on that soon. Then on the strategic plan updates, we continue to seek all types of grants, federal, state, the bill grants, which are the bipartisan grants, the MAP grants, which are military airport grants, former military airport grants, as well as state grants and every other grant we can find. We're going to collect all the money we can to put into your airport. In recent weeks, I had in-depth discussions with the senior management of the FBO at the airport. I have been very upfront with them that I'm not happy with their services, I'm not happy with their facilities, and they need to do something different. I told them they need to invest capital in fixing the facilities. They need to do things like eliminate birds from their hangars that make a god-awful mess. And they need to get better quality service, customer service out of their employees. There'll be several changes coming up on those regards, and I'll be reporting those as we go forward. So if I recap on this is complete, then also in the past, we've talked to you about the possibility of a spaceport at Roswell, and we now have a confirmed visit coming up on August the 7th. So we have 20 people coming from the spaceport organization to look and see what they could possibly do here in Roswell. And if you would go ahead, Amelia. So this is a photo we recently had, which several of you attended, of the Pilot Race School, which is where the pilots get certified on the new course. This is just some of the folks that were there. Those are the first class and the top two photos, and the bottom photo are some of the aircraft in the jet class. Now you have to remember, we had several aircraft here, but sometimes more than one pilot gets certified in the same aircraft, because it's pilot certification, not aircraft certification. So they did some sharing, which keeps their costs down as well. And in the top right picture is a briefing with the fire department. So what happens there is we bring in the emergency personnel, and they learn how to safely get the pilot out of an aircraft in the case of an incident or accident. And they learn also the things on the aircraft they don't want to mess with, so that they can prevent harm. So a couple of pictures of folks going around the pylons, and that was our temporary home pylon. But if you look at that decal on the front of that, think of that 50 feet tall, because that's what the home pylon will look like in September. Then this is a very interesting map. So you have 2022 on the left and 2025 on the right. And what does that mean? Ticket sales. This is a hot word of our ticket sales. Each one of those little green dots is where tickets have been purchased. And that doesn't say 10 tickets or 50 tickets, it's just a location of where tickets have been purchased. 3 states have not bought tickets yet. All the others have bought tickets. And that's Maine, Vermont, and Mississippi. So we'll just have to get after those folks. But if you notice, there's a lot more green in 2025, especially in places like Texas and New Mexico. So we're very pleased with that. We think we're very much on target to get probably 60,000 or more attendees here. So tell your grocery stores, tell your gas stations, tell your neighbors, come on out to races. There'll be traffic anyway. You might as well be out there having fun. So that's what I had for you today. And if you have any questions, we have the answer.
Any questions, Mr. Thompson? Okay, seeing none, I think the ticket sales is very interesting, because if they have in 22, they had 80,000 or something?
85.
85,000 in 2022, so if our sales are up at 20% higher in '82, I mean, that could indicate that really, of course, a lot of these are the diehard people, I'm sure, but that always buy all the time, but it shows we have a pretty good chance of having a very respectful show.
Now, we know we're gonna hit that lodging wall, because things are getting sold out, and then, as you've been informed, in some places, and you've been very helpful with some of the lodging in the community that have decided to, get what they can while they can, and not really plan for future events, which of course you've been working on. So we don't yet know how that's gonna impact people when they can't find places to stay. But with the help of city management and city departments, we have been able to create 500 RV spots. And several of those do have full hookups, which we did not have in Reno. And then also, some will have water, but maybe not electric. And we've got tent camping, which wasn't in place before. So we've got a lot of things, additional new things here that we didn't have in the past years. And we're hopeful that that's gonna ease up on some of the lodging, so we know at some point it will definitely impact attendance.
I know some of the hotels, there were some hotels that told, visitors that had $100 rooms that they, were gonna be remodeling the rooms, so they canceled their thing and re-rented them at 500. I know there's at least one of the hotels that came back and reinstated all the hotel rooms at the lower rate. And so, we did send a letter that expressed our displeasure with people who were gouging people and being dishonest in their billing.
And some of those early reservations were for our longtime volunteers that are so critical to success. So we're really working hard. If you know companies, organizations, individuals that want to volunteer, please contact the races, because we certainly need volunteers in all kinds of areas.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ms. Thompson. And we have, Mr. Telly, did you have anything you would like to bring up about the?
Ms. Thompson covered it all extraordinarily well, not surprisingly. Thank you very much. Thanks to the city and everything for what she expressed you've done to make this event possible.
Yeah, it's been good. Okay, next, Mr. Bud Kunkel with the Airport Advisory Commission.
Good evening, Mayor Jennings and Roswell City Councilors. The AAC had our June meeting on Tuesday, June the 3rd. We had several city employees in attendance, including the city attorney and the mayor. Thank you for your attendance. Some tenants were also at the meeting. Thank you also for your attendance. Again, we had a lengthy agenda with 23 items to be addressed. I'm going to go into a little more detail than Bobby did, but she had quite a few of them. The first one that I want to talk about is the ADB lighting project. That's still continuing on a monthly basis. I came in on the 11:30 flight last Monday night, and the runway lighting is readily seen from several miles out. It looks like one big, beautiful runway. That was a joke, guys.
I got it.
Did you get it?
It's all in delivery.
All right, all it was delivered. The new electrical lighting vault design will be advertised from June 11th to the 25th. Bids for construction are expected to be open on July the 8th. Completion time for the new electrical vault is expected to be in late September with about a 60-day build time. This vault is expected to provide greater reliability to the new lighting on all the airport runways. The airport master plan, Bobby mentioned that also, continues to wait FAA approval. The most recent problem appears to be a zoning issue the FAA is not on board with. Hopefully this can be resolved and the project can be completed in the next couple of months. However, currently there is no time commitment for completion from the FAA. We've been dealing with that for about 3 months now. The BLM loading pit and taxiway project remains the same, with construction expected to begin following the fire season, possibly in August or early September. The apron rehabilitation project in front of the terminal building has a start date of July the 7th. This project will be split into 2 phases. The second phase will not begin until after the air races are completed, to ensure that there's no negative impact on incoming attendees for the air races. The Taxiway Charlie project is to repair damage, Bobby mentioned that earlier, from heavy aircraft parked during COVID, which damaged the asphalt paving. The design engineering is almost completed. June 18th to July 2nd is the time frame for advertising the project. Bid opening is scheduled for July the 5th. It's expected to be a 45-day project, but will not be scheduled until after the air races. This is a $1.8 to $2 million project. The terminal improvement project, which consists primarily of renovation of 2 restroom areas, is expected to begin on July 1. It is expected to be completed in 60 days and should have no negative impact on air travelers arriving or departing for the air races. The terminal flood repairs are proceeding both with wall repairs and carpet flooring repairs. Hopefully, most repairs will be completed this month by the end of June. The Walker Aviation Museum repairs are completed, and it is now open for visitation. The new Taxiway Charlie extension will have a notice to proceed in early July. This is to be a 50-foot wide taxiway that will be used extensively during the air races in front of the grandstands as both a taxiway for racing aircraft and for some static display aircraft. Phase 2 of the Southeast Waterline project, to include sewer line bids, are being received. To date, the sewer line bids have been competitive, and this project should continue beginning in July. We've had a termination on that for the last 3 or 4 months while the contractor was working on more critical infrastructure things here in the city. The Challenger Drive drainage project, based upon reporting by Mac Rogers, appears to be a problem that can be eliminated by digging a drainage ditch to divert water ponding from its existing problem area to move the water out onto the airfield for adequate dispersal of the water. Time frame to eliminate the problem has not yet been determined. Don Fisher reported that June 30 is the most recent date for Boeing's arrival for testing aircraft, with almost 300 people scheduled to come for Boeing. However, Boeing has pushed this date into the future several times already. The final item of importance discussed, Bobby mentioned this also, and you voted on that tonight already, was the 5-year capital improvement plan for the Air Center. This plan includes projects totaling $42,874 from 2026 to 2030. Most of this funding is expected to be provided by federal and state government. This concludes my report, and I stand for any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions of Mr. Kunkel? Councilor Opresa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just curious, because we got an email that said the Job Corps was going to close, and then the paper said that it wasn't going to close, so what is the actual situation
With the Job Corps?
Yep.
I'm not sure that we know for sure unless Bobby's received some information just in the last couple of days. Originally, they were not going to be funded nationwide. Yeah, originally that's what happened. Bobby's got good info.
Yeah.
Thank you. I did have another meeting with those folks today. Now, that building, evidently there was a little confusion on it. That is a federally owned building. It's not owned by the city or the airport. It is a federally owned building. There was a stay of execution, I guess you could say, from a judge. So they were going around today getting letters of support that will be sent to the U.S. government to try to continue. The problem seems to be that some of the locations had issues that were inappropriate, so why didn't they go after those instead of all? But it's still unknown. They have, right now, as it stands, they have a quit notice for the end of this month, and they've already had to place their kids at other locations. So if they recover, they'll have to recollect some staff and also then bring the children back. But right now, it's not looking very good.
Okay, thank you. And the other question is, Aaliyah, that one for sure is going to be shut down?
The Alea decision has not been made yet. That one's still in discussion between the contractor and the State Department.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any further questions?
Yes, as Bud just reminded me, of course, Ilea is still under a lease with the airport, and they're paid right now through October. They pay 6 months at a time.
Okay, any further questions of Mr. Coe? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have a proclamation for frontline workers. Madam Clerk.
Good evening, Mayor Jennings, members of the council. Tonight we have our proclamation recognizing our frontline workers on Mayor Jennings' behalf. Thank you, Mayor. My understanding is we've got several of our frontline workers in various disciplines throughout the city here with us tonight. I would ask that you come up with me and stand here with me as I read this proclamation for the building. Would you mind? Frontline workers. I think we've got teachers, nurses.
Hi. Good, how are you?
Please, come on up, Charles. Come on up. If you're a frontline worker, you can stand up. Thank you, thank you. So we've got an amazing group of people in the house tonight. I'll read this proclamation on behalf of Mayor Jennings. Whereas frontline workers are the builders of our community, exercising curiosity, compassion, courage, and creativity to provide essential services that ensure the safety, health, and education of our residents. And whereas more than 9 million healthcare workers across the United States serve in hospitals, clinics, long-term care facilities, often placing themselves at risk to provide life-saving care. And whereas firefighters respond to an estimated 36 million emergency calls each year, more than 800,000 sworn law enforcement officers nationwide work tirelessly to uphold the law and ensure public safety, and emergency medical service personnel respond to more than 240 million calls annually. And whereas teachers dedicate their careers to shaping the future of our communities, with more than 3.7 million educators in the United States providing knowledge and guidance to our youth. And whereas the city of Roswell recognizes our valued utility workers who are on call to maintain usable roadways and ensure fresh water and sanitation systems work around the clock. And whereas all of these and other frontline workers embody the essence of builders, flexible thinkers, and constructive problem solvers who respect the dignity of all people by dedicating themselves to overcoming challenges and uniting our communities. Now and therefore, I, Timothy Z. Jennings, Mayor of the City of Roswell, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as Frontline Worker Appreciation Month. Signed, Timothy Z. Jennings, Mayor of Roswell.
You know, on behalf of our community, we have all kinds of frontline workers and everybody does their job and we all do it together. And we help, we make children safe, we make fresh water, we make fire departments, we make police calls. We do, everybody does a little bit, and that's what makes the greatness of this community. And it's when we share our time with others and make other people's lives better. And so on behalf of all the citizens of Roswell and all of us out there working together, thank you all for your service. And if you see somebody else, it's always nice to take a front line friend with you. You know, you can see just when we had Ruidoso come down here, you see how everybody opened up. And you know, when we had our own disaster, the people opened up all over to the neighborhood. So really, anybody can be a frontline worker. But you know, you just have to help your neighbor and make their life a little bit better as you go through it. So thank you all very much for your dedication, and thank you all for helping make our community, giving it the personality that it has. Thank you. Okay, next we have Mr. Gary Dunn from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce for presentation.
Okay. Oh, I get the mic. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, the chamber, we do ribbon cuttings for groundbreakings and grand openings and re-grand openings and everything. And tonight, we have a couple of photo boards to present to yourself and Mr. Cole. One is the dedication to the pickleball court that we had a while back, and the other one is for the Morning Glory Club. So, good, I get you to come down here and let Andrea present you with the Morning Glory Club, and I'll present Mr. Cole with the pickleball. And if somebody will, Juliana, she'll take a picture, I appreciate it.
Oh, here you go. Right here in the middle. In the middle?
There you go.
Go down to right.
Where are we at?
Okay.
You want us to look at you? Yeah, at that podium.
Shuffle and reshuffle.
Sorry.
There you go.
That's okay.
You tell us what to do, Juliana.
Smile.
Okay. I guess it's appropriate for me to get the Morning Glory and you get the signal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, I didn't.
Oh, that's mine.
Okay.
You don't want it.
Mayor, I'd just say we pulled item 19 for next month, but we did add a new proclamation regarding General Motors.
Okay, would you like
Yes, sir. If we
to
could
cover that now? Is that okay?
That'd be wonderful. Yes, sir.
If there's, we have a small president proclamation for General Motors, yes, if you can read it, please. This is it's a little something that our city manager, he's got a lot of talents, and there's some things that were gonna happen in Roswell, and you know, things are just better with a little competition.
Absolutely.
And when you have air races and things, sometimes he comes up with a hell of an idea, and it's got a good one here. Would you go ahead and proceed, Mr. Cole?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor Jennings, members of the council. As Mayor said, every now and then we communicate over the phone late in the evenings, and we have some great ideas. So thank you, Mayor Jennings, for allowing me to write this proclamation to General Motors. And I'll just read it here for us. City of Roswell proclamation, whereas the city of Roswell, New Mexico, renowned for its pioneering spirit, rich history in aviation and innovation, proudly welcomes to the world, to the Alien City's first annual showcasing of the fastest event in motorsports, the National Championship Air Races, to be held September 2025. And whereas General Motors Company and Chevrolet have announced the 2026 Roswell Green Metallic painted Corvette, a shining example of American innovation and automotive excellence. And whereas Roswell is a city where we believe in the spirit of competition, collaboration, and the relentless pursuit of excellence, while also celebrating American ingenuity in air and land speed. Now and therefore be it proclaimed that the city of Roswell officially issues a public challenge to General Motors Company and Chevrolet to pit their 2026 Roswell Green Metallic Corvette, along with any other interested intergalactic visitors and competitors, against an aircraft in a head-to-head race during Roswell's National Championship Air Races event, held September 2025, demonstrating the frontier spirit and technological leadership found in the strength of our community and this great nation. Let it be known that Roswell invites General Motors, Chevrolet, and the world's eyes to witness the ultimate test of speed between automobile and airplane, celebrating the excellence of competition and American innovation at its finest. In witness thereof, I hereto set my hand to cause this seal of the city of Roswell to be affixed on this, the 12th day of June 2025. Mayor Tim Z. Jennings.
Okay, thank you. Most people don't know Roswell has a connection to General Motors, but there was a gentleman here, Ross Malone, who was the chief counsel and the head counsel of the General Motors Corporation in the United States. One of our own local yokels here. Mr. Malone was a fantastic man, and he was a really great lawyer, and he was chairman of the American Bar Association. But he was the head counsel of General Motors, so they should accept this challenge the way, you know, they want to go by and use Roswell and everything else. That's great. Let's get that Corvette out there with 700-800 horsepower, and let's get out there and let it run against one of our little airplanes. We can see it, and of course, they pick their vehicle, we can pick ours. So it's something that, you know, gives General Motors something to do. If you can imagine that, really the name of the green, you can Google General Motors 2026 Corvette, and one of the new colors is Roswell green. And you know, I guess they're probably, you know, everything going on with the government, everybody's afraid to challenge or bring anything out, so I don't think they're gonna open the vault about it right Patterson Air Force Base where they took the alien bodies. But anytime they can this way, this challenge will be there, and hopefully we'll get a couple of alien visitors to that too, and we can see what they have up, if they have some ships that can fly in this race and not have a crash. So we're looking forward to it, and we hope that General Motors will move right along with us, and we'll have a good competition with them.
And Mayor, I don't know if they're watching tonight, but they might certainly be watching after the fact, because we're gonna send this proclamation to General Motors Company, in particular, their director of marketing and their senior engineer who came up with the Roswell green metallic color for the new Corvette.
Nice. So that's good, so. Okay, okay, moving right along here. The next one we have is item 20, which is a proclamation to Richard T. Smith. And, would you like to read it if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Certainly. Mayor Jennings and members of the council. This proclamation, whereas Richard T. Smith devoted over 30 years of distinguished service to Chaves County Flood Control Superintendent, and whereas throughout those 30 years, Mr. Smith faithfully served the residents of Roswell, Dexter, Lake Arthur, and the surrounding areas of Chaves County with honor, integrity, and sound judgment. And whereas Mr. Smith was an invaluable asset to the community, actively contributing to numerous organizations focused on water resource preservation, flood control, public safety, disaster recovery, and watershed management, while also serving on various boards and committees to share his expertise in flood control and local water management. And whereas Mr. Smith played a pivotal role in the design and construction of Chaves County Flood Control Building, leaving a lasting legacy of infrastructure improvement. And whereas during his tenure, Mr. Smith consistently delivered exceptional service to the citizens of Chaves County. Under his exemplary leadership, the department secured the staffing, funding, training, and technology necessary to maintain the highest standards of public service. Now and therefore, I, Timothy Z. Jennings, Mayor of the City of Roswell, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim Thursday, June 12th, 2025, as Richard T. Smith Day.
For those of y'all who know Dick worked for the NRCS, Conservation District, on saving our land and farmland and helping with the ensuring that we have stable grounds for farming and lack of erosion and things. He did that for 25 years at NRCS and or 30 years. And then he came and he went to work at Chaves County Flood Office and as your head engineer at the flood department. And I've been able to watch him since 1974 and watch the years that he has put in protecting the grounds and the watershed of Chaves County. And I can't tell you what a wonderful, polite, honest man he was. He had the trust of every person inside or outside the county, and their flood commission had done probably, a lot of it got destroyed in the floods, but they did probably at least $50 or $70 million worth of work in cleaning up the riverbeds and things. When we had this storm, it could be, one person has told me it's even maybe as much as a 2,000-year storm, but we certainly we're real close to a 1,000-year storm at least, if not more. It's hard to keep the records like that when the storm we had came through here. But there's 10,000 acre feet of water that is between the Rocky Arroyo Dam and the Hondo dams. Between that and the air base, there's 10,000 acre feet of water that can come through town. And our channel only holds the Hondo channel holds 1,100 cubic feet per second out of 10,000. And that's why we saw so much peril, was that it's very difficult to come up with a plan to stop that flooding on the other part. The Corps of Engineers is, hopefully, in January of this year, they had a new thing where they work at alleviating flooding. And it's extremely difficult to do because anytime you move water downhill straight, you have a huge problem because it gathers so much speed, the power is not, you can't stop it. So you have to have a meandering stream to get it down in a slow manner. But Dick had some ideas in there, and he left some of those with us, and he died, last week. He just had a heart attack in Reynosa, but he was an extremely dedicated person, so I thought this would be a nice thing we could do to thank him after the fact. Dick worked until he was probably 83 years old. I mean, he was just a workaholic. You know, it's great to see someone who loves their job and works well with all the people they're involved with, so, all our citizens. So, thank you all for allowing me to have this today for Mr. Smith. And we will have it, we're gonna have a service next Saturday, I believe, at the Elks Club. For anybody who would care to go. And if anybody have any comments about Mr. Dick Smith, if they know him as well, like to say something, that's fine. If not, we'll move right on, but thank you all very much. Next, we have the Main Street report from Ms. Barbara Gomez.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Councilors. It's kind of different to see you guys in this environment, but I kind of like it, you know, we're a little bit closer to you guys. Number one thing, but number two, thank you, Chad, wherever you went, to talk about that green Corvette. You know, I don't know if you guys read it or not, but it says Roswell Green Metallic. The new color is a vibrant, alien-inspired green, drawing inspiration from the town of Roswell, New Mexico, known for its UFO sightings. So that's very cool. That's out there. So we, along with you guys, are putting some feelers out there, talking to a few people. We would like them to bring a huge, at least send us a huge poster of the car for photo opportunities to the UFO Festival this year. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that one. Okay, so you've already been given your report. That was my written report, and that covers July of 2024 to May of 2025. And that includes the disclosure of our financial status. It also includes an overview of the operations conducted during the preceding year and future operations. We currently have 9 board members and 2 ex officios on our board, with one of those ex officios being our own city councilor, Juliana Halverson, which is always a fantastic addition to anything that she's a part of. So we're excited to have her. In 2024, Main Street Roswell was designated as a Main Street America accredited program. And along with that, for our accreditation, we are also able to apply for technical assistance. And this is free technical assistance, everything from leadership meetings, online presence, monthly meetings, and just all type of technical specialists are available to us. And the value of those, and they're for free, mind you, but the value for this last year was $23,203. In 2024, Main Street Roswell took over helping out and putting together the UFO Festival. For many years, Main Street Roswell did the UFO Festival, and then we moved over to the Alien Fest and did that for a few years. But last year in 2024, the city of Roswell, along with Main Street, we agreed to work on the 2024 UFO Festival together. And this year, we are also working together on the 2025 UFO Festival. And a big thank you to TJ Conyers and the group in that department, and also to Todd Versiglio, the Hobbit. He is helping us this year with he's helping us with the parade. He's also helping us with the costume contest, since he knows a thing or two about costumes. So he's gonna lend us his expertise with some, judges and things like that. So we're really excited to have him be a part of us this year. We continue our work on the wayfinding project, and we look forward to seeing that thing happening really soon. We also just finished on June the 5th, and thank you to many of you that attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the the Chaves County Cultural Plaza that was held at the location. I was so impressed to see that they've already turned the ground. It's gonna be, they're ahead of schedule a little bit, so you might see that come to pass before the end of this year. They said they're hoping to have it before, hopefully by 2026, but they're pushing for the end of 2025. So that's an exciting venue that's coming within the Main Street district that's gonna be available not just for Main Street, but anyone in the community that's looking for a venue. And as Mr. Bill Williams talked about during the declaration, it'll be another area that will have bathrooms that might be available during events, which is something that we really, really need. So we're really excited to have them within the district. Let me see. So just a couple of quick things. We are going to be working, Main Street Roswell is working on a re-granting program. And to explain to you a little bit about that, the re-granting program is basically, we're going to start putting aside some of the money that we get from events and different type of money, especially events, and even some of the money that we receive from the city of Roswell, to be able to turn around and re-grant it back to the Main Street district. So if somebody needs something, maybe they need a new facade, maybe they need paint, maybe they need interior type things, we could work together with them, and this will be a local grant through Main Street Roswell. So we'll have a local team of people jurying the applications. Some of it will be fully sponsoring or funding some of the projects. Some of them will be matching grants. So we're really excited about that. That's something we're just rolling out right now, putting together. We are also working on a rebranding of the Main Street, not the district itself, but Main Street, the organization. We're relooking at our bylaws, we're relooking at our missions and our visions, and we're going to come up with a new look. And some of you probably, as a matter of fact, the lady I'm working with is with New Mexico Main Street. Her name is Robin, and we have sent many of you surveys. If you have not received a survey, let me know and I'll make sure you get one. From that survey, it gives you guys the opportunity to tell us what you would like to see the Main Street District look like, how you would like the organization to, what you want us to do differently. And from those surveys, as a matter of fact, right now, I was just told this week by New Mexico Main Street that we received way over 100 replies already from those surveys. So that's really, really exciting to know. Anyway, we do have some new businesses that have come up, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I think that the really exciting part is the fact that we have received, and like our businesses have done interior and exterior improvements and rehabilitations totaling somewhere around $190,000, and this is money that people in the district are putting into their own businesses, which is really, really exciting because they're taking ownership of their district and putting their own money into it. So right now, I would like to show you a really short video that Ms. Juliana put together based on our report, and I hope you enjoy it because it's fantastic. So thank you for this.
Welcome to Main Street Roswell's 2024-2025 Annual Report. Together with the City of Roswell, we've made great strides in revitalizing our historic downtown, celebrating our past while shaping a vibrant economic future. Over the past year, we've worked hand in hand with city leaders, community members, and local businesses to build a destination we're all proud to call home. In October 2024, Main Street Roswell was officially recognized as a Main Street America accredited program, giving us access to $23,000 in technical services from New Mexico Main Street, from leadership training to marketing support. Our impact is powered by the people. Nearly 2,000 volunteer hours, a value of over $38,000, were given by residents, civic groups, and our dedicated board members. Financially, we secured important grants and continued long-term projects like the Wayfinding Plan, where we received $100,000 from Destination Forward for Planning and Design, and $400,000 in capital outlay funding, and the Chavez County Cultural Plaza, which received a Great Blocks grant of $2.1 million, as well as Chavez County receiving a grant over $200,000. The groundbreaking was held on June 5th, 2025. Business is booming downtown. 8 new businesses joined our district, and more than $190,000 in private investment went into interior and exterior building improvements, from coffee shops to museums. Our events drew locals and tourists alike. The UFO Festival, Chili Cheese Festival, Holiday Light Celebration, and the Farmers Market brought life and laughter to downtown Roswell. We hosted 9 stakeholder meetings, both in person and online, to keep our community connected and informed, and we're just getting started. Our plans for 2025 include expanding the Wayfinding Project, exploring new matching grants for business improvements, installing a district sound system for events, partnering on redevelopment ideas for underused spaces like the Hinkle Building. Main Street Roswell thrives because of you. Thank you to our volunteers, businesses, partners, and the City of Roswell for investing in our downtown's future. Together, we are transforming Roswell.
And that's all I have. I did bring some posters for you, so if anybody wants posters, they're up there in the front. But thank you to Ms. Sam for any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions, Ms. Coleman?
All right, thank you.
Nope, thank you very much. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Juliana, for your part in that. Okay, moving right along. Next, we have our employee out-of-state travel. I don't know if it's in your folder, and item 23, there's, I don't know if Chief Bankman cares to explain these, but if you look in your folder, there are 10 officers that are going to, train, and then we have Steve Chavez has, Mr. Fuller is gonna go, I believe, Daniel Fuller, he's going for the National Fire Academy, and, would you like to say anything in behalf of your officers you're sending, to the out-of-state travel?
Good evening, Mayor, councilors. Our out-of-state travel for the start of the next fiscal year consists of, in June, Randy Rodriguez, Anna Romero, Crystal Gonzalez, and Nick Baruman, all our SROs in the schools, went to a full-scale emergency exercise in Lubbock, Texas. Brings back beneficial training. We don't get to do that a lot over here. We do have some training during the summer with the teachers, but in Lubbock, a lot more resources. They had a full-scale exercise with all their entities over there. So it's valuable training to bring back in case of an incident here in Roswell. The same 4 SROs that will be going July 5th through July 11th in Grapevine, Texas, is the National Association of School Resource Officers Conference. Every year they have breakout sessions at these conferences, and they can actually gain certifications to further their SRO duties. The last one, July 19th through the 23rd, sending Officer Joel Juarez and Officer Eric Castillo to basic sniper school. We've lost some people on the SWAT team in the last year and a half, so we're needing to get a few more snipers in case we have barricaded subjects and emergency situations. So they'll be going to the basic sniper school. Not a lot going on in the state as far as that kind of training, so we had to find one out of state. I stand for any questions.
Any questions? One thing on the training you had in Lubbock on Atkins Middle School full-scale emergency exercise. You know, I think most everybody knows that we're gonna probably use the old Nancy Lopez School as a full-scale training exercise in cooperation with New Mexico State Police. So that would probably be very beneficial to have this training here, and it's, we worked real well with the school boards and working to get that together, and it's be a good deal. And So these out-of-state trainings are really valuable for our keeping up to date.
Yes, we will be the state police will own it, but, you know, we'll be able to, utilize it at all times, and we'll be the only town in the, state where a law enforcement agency actually owns a school to train in full-time, so it'll be very beneficial for all the agencies around here.
Okay, Chief Javas, would you care to enlighten anything on what you're gonna send Mr. Fuller? He goes to the National Academy, which is a pretty big honor as well, I think.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, council members. Deputy Chief Fuller submitted his application for Emmitsburg, Maryland to go to the Officer Training Academy and was accepted. And so he'll be attending that to get some further officer training. Not very many people attend this course. So it's a pretty big honor for him to get accepted, and it'll be a good leadership class for him that he can bring back and share with some of the other leadership of the city. So I think it'll be a good opportunity for him. We're pretty proud of him for that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the chief about the program? And then next week, I don't know if anybody's here to speak for IT, but for Mr. Bechtel and McLean are gonna go to the IT radio computer interface dispatch. So that's always good because dispatch is, we're doing more and more to work together with dispatch and dispatching people and getting them there quick. So that's really good. Okay, next we have public participation on the agenda. We had no one sign up. Would anyone care to say anything about any item that come before the council or any item? You've got 3 minutes if you care to. Would anyone care to say anything? No? Okay, last time. Anyone care to say anything? Okay, seeing none. Okay, next we'll go to item 23, public hearing on ordinance number 25-03. Item 23. Okay, yes, so we need a motion on 2503, that will be by Councilman Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that we hold a public hearing on proposed ordinance 25-03, an ordinance for the sale of real property and approval for the city of Roswell to enter into a purchase and sale contract with Amazon.com Services LLC.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilor Hildebrand, second by Councilor Halverson. Okay. Would you, okay, Tom, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So I'm here to present, of course, ordinance 2503, sale of real property to Amazon. To enter into a purchase and sale contract with Amazon.com Services LLC. The city owned a parcel of property that has been unused and vacant since 1988. Property is located right there at the corner of Sunset and Monksdale. We have about 30.29 acres there. Amazon is looking to carve off 7.53 acres at an appraised value of $60,240. City management has reviewed the site and the city has no plans to develop there. So the city attorney has also reviewed the purchase and sale contract from Amazon.com Services. This item was submitted to legal for its review. The legal committee was the first to consider this item and approved it at 3-0 on a meeting on April 24th. And then sent it to full city council for the right to advertise the public hearing of a vote to 10-0 back on May 8th, 2025 at the city council meeting. So we arrive here today to hold a public hearing for the ordinance 2503 for the sale of real property and the approval for the city to enter into a purchase and sale contract with Amazon.com Services. I stand for questions.
Okay, are there any questions? Councilor Halverson.
Just real quick, if we do approve this, do you know when they plan to start building or constructing the facility and when they plan to open?
We do have a representative here from Amazon tonight that might be able to speak a little bit more in tune to that.
Hi, good afternoon, or good evening, Mayor, council members, members of the public and staff. So I'm Beth McDonough, Senior Economic Development Manager for Southwest US. I have a quick presentation, maybe I could answer that specific question in a bit. But just to kind of provide a bit of context as to what we're looking to do here. So earlier this spring, we announced a $4 billion investment meant to expand our delivery network in small cities and towns across the country. This new facility in Roswell that we're looking to open as part of this specific investment. This location is ideal to support faster delivery, better service for our customers, and is conveniently located in an area that supports this type of commercial activity. And so we hope to accommodate this type of facility to support the work that we're currently doing in the city. So here, one of the things I wanted to provide is just a bit of an overview of kind of what our logistics network looks like, so you understand where this specific facility fits in. And so at Amazon, we want to focus on being that customer-centric company, and we focus on promoting that last mile delivery. And so throughout the kind of last couple of years, we've been moving to improving our delivery network. And so just to provide a bit of a life cycle of a package, kind of your package starts usually in an inbound cross-dock, is where it comes from the ports. We have one of these in Los Lunas near Albuquerque. Then from there it goes to one of our fulfillment centers. We have one in Albuquerque proper, actually in Bernalillo County. That's where the product actually sits. These are the facilities that are maybe 1 million to 2 million square feet in size. From there, it goes to a sort center. We actually have one just right up the street from the site. And from there, what we do is that we basically break it down by zip code to ship it out to different destinations throughout the state and kind of throughout the region as a whole. The one thing that we're looking to do, again, trying to be that customer-centric company, is really control our own destiny. In certain areas where you don't have a delivery station, we've used third-party partners like USPS or UPS. But at that point, once we kind of hand over the package, it becomes a little bit more difficult to really understand where that package is kind of moving through the process. And so through this $4 billion investment that we're doing throughout the US for 2026, we hope to expand in kind of these smaller communities to provide the same level of service that folks in more urban areas are used to experience. So Prime members are able to kind of experience that same level of support. And so this area that we're looking to develop, next slide please, thank you. We're looking to launch this in April of 26. It's a little bit convoluted here, but this just kind of shows a little bit of the circulation elements that we have in terms of the on-site operations and what have you. So again, as indicated, it's a 7.9 acre parcel. The building itself is about 11,800 square feet, but this provides just a general overview of how truck movements, vehicle movements, van movements are on the site. We're hoping to open our doors and hoping to host you all there for potential ribbon cutting once that date comes. But we're looking at roughly right now April 2026. So I know we've been working with staff and what have you, just kind of work through the due diligence phase. So hoping to get started as soon as possible, just so we could hit the ground running and move forward. If you could hit the next slide as well. I also want to talk a little bit about just kind of the economic impact that this will bring, and just to provide a high level. In New Mexico as a whole, we already invested since 2010 about $1.6 billion into New Mexico in infrastructure and compensation to our employees, $1.4 billion to the state GDP, and we have roughly about 3,000 or so full and part-time employees. This is a figure as from 2024, early 2024. And then again, we have that multiplier effect through our operations. I think right now we're looking at roughly close to 4,000 indirect jobs supported through direct hires, or kind of all of the other support businesses that come along with it. This specific facility in Roswell, we're going to inject about 10 million or so in new investment. We anticipate about 70 jobs between full and part-time jobs that are going to be created, 50 associate employees, and about 20 odd or so delivery service partners. These are our drivers that provide that delivery service to us. Again, indirect job creation through the construction and related investments, and do sales tax as well. And then one of the things that's really neat about Amazon is the creation of entrepreneurial opportunities. So the way that Amazon functions and for our last mile delivery network is that we utilize delivery service partners, which someone with as little as $10,000 could open up a logistics company and basically deliver on our behalf. They hire their own specific staff. We help them with the coaching. We help them kind of move the business along. And then we also utilize what's called Amazon Flex. So think of a Uber and Lyft model where folks sign up for an app. These are the folks that can sign up for an app. This is great for folks that just want to make a couple extra bucks, students or retirees actually that just want to have something to do. They pick up a route. And unlike an Uber and Lyft model, which is a little bit more feast or famine, they're guaranteed their route 4 hours a day. They can pick up as many routes as they want to do, or what days. And so they have that, they enjoy that flexibility to be able to deliver on our behalf. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is just the opportunities this brings for sellers. So 60% of Amazon's product is by third-party sellers. And so in New Mexico as a whole, we have about 1,500 New Mexico-based independent sellers, most of which are small and medium businesses. And so these are folks that are already selling on Amazon and hope to expand by providing this availability for last mile delivery in Roswell. So a little bit of a more deeper explanation, because I know when folks think of Amazon, there's a variety of building typologies that could come in, and sometimes folks think of the larger fulfillment centers and are a little bit concerned about potential truck trips and things of that nature. This is more akin of your local post office. And so I'm here to answer any questions, so thank you for your time.
Other than Roswell, I guess you hit all of Chatham County, hit any other counties around us too, or just?
We usually, this specific model has a little bit of a longer stand time from our actual delivery site. So usually we drive out about an hour out and work our way back in. So it depends on it varies day by day, but usually that's on average the model. So depending on how many shipments folks receive per day, but an average throughout these types of facilities is usually an hour out.
Would that be like Artesia, Carlsbad, an hour way out?
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, 70 miles, that's about an hour. Depends how fast you go.
It's a half hour for you.
Depends on the speed limit.
Where it takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further questions?
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to our community.
No. Well, I want to thank the team. They've been extremely helpful in helping us move through this process. So kudos to the team and to city leadership, and obviously also to our economic development regional organization that's been helping us move this project along.
We look forward to seeing your ads in our football programs and things too.
No, absolutely. At the end of the day, we're looking to be a property owner here, so we're going to be one of your corporate citizens here as well. So
Or full distribution center, we'd be happy with that.
there you go. If you build it, they will come, I guess.
In fact, if you need an airport distribution system, we can work that out. We have a lot of hangar space that we are working on right now to occupy, and it's set up right on the edge so you could have all kinds of fly-in traffic and then truck it out from there. We're really here, we're waiting, and Ms. Thompson's already got your lease ready.
There you go. Happy to discuss further, but thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussions? Seeing none, if the clerk will call the roll. I remind you to take 6 members.
Counselor Halverson?
Yes.
Counselor Oropesa?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Counselor Corn?
Yes.
Counselor Cortez?
Aye.
Counselor Hildebrand?
Aye.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
Counselor Johnson?
Yes.
Counselor Maruco?
Heck, yes.
By a vote of 9 affirmative, 9 to negative, and Counselor Cameron excused, there's a duly passed. Thank you, I guess we'll have a deal here pretty quick. Okay. Next, we go to new business items. We'll go to item 5 first, and that is item 5 on the calendar, that's dispatch. Counselor Corn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, let me find it here.
It's page 17 of your packet.
I got it.
Okay, as to,
I don't want you to finish,
Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
okay, well, we have, okay, for item 5, this is authorization for the facilities, or for the ratification of purchase order number 22501835-03 for professional services for temporary services to assist in dispatching, staffing for the consolidated dispatch in the amount of $345,858.13. To include a budget adjustment of $286,858.13. Councilman Horn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Move we authorize the ratification of PO 2250-1835-03.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Horn, a second by Councilor Arnold. Okay, let's see. Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Mr. Mayor. Council members, as you know, we've been critically short in dispatch for quite some time. HR helped us because we were reaching critical mass. We reached out to various temporary agencies to try to get some help. Unfortunately, they couldn't provide candidates with the certifications needed to dispatch emergency services. So we submitted a sole source request for Get Rescue 911, which is a vendor who specializes in certified dispatchers to support centers just like ours. That sole source request was approved with no protest. A budget adjustment was approved by council in December of 2024 under resolution 24-56 to fully fund the contract. Following that approval, purchase order 22501835 was issued in the amount of $279,000. Unfortunately, our staffing problems continue. We had a couple of recruits that washed out of training, and we had a full-timer that went to field work in EMS. So we amended a change order in the amount of $66,858.13. That was funded by a transfer from line item 11014656642904, which was non-capital equipment. It was intended for equipment, but with the staffing shortage, I've had to shift priorities. So we just moved line item to line item. The full revised PO amount was taken forward for ratification. The item was scheduled and heard by a public safety committee in April, then forward to the finance committee for May. Due to timing, it was placed on the June committee finance agenda where it was approved to come before full council. So I am here tonight to respectfully request that you ratify PO 22501835 for the entire amount of $345,848.13. This will ensure compliance with procurement policy, and it acknowledges the city's commitment to maintaining uninterrupted emergency dispatch services during the period of high turnover and recruitment. This is just a ratification request. There's no need for further adjustments or line item transfers. That was the only questions.
Okay, we have questions from members of the committee. Councilman Pressa.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For clarification, I was the one that asked to have this one pulled from the consent agenda. Because I have some questions.
Yes, sir.
Several questions. Just out of curiosity, how long have you been the dispatch manager?
How long?
How long?
Since October of 2019.
2019?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I wanted a clarification on the dispatch report. I'm assuming you're the one that created it.
Is that the?
That's a consolidated dispatch 4656. There's the number of employees and their salaries and steps and that kind of stuff.
HR prepared that.
I'm sorry?
HR prepared that.
Oh, okay, well, then I guess I have to address my questions to HR.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the report is self-explanatory, but there's just one item that I need just clarification for my own mind. On column number 3, it's titled position. And it identifies all the classifications. And on the emergency communication dispatcher, there's 6 positions that have names in parentheses. What does that
Those are terminations, either voluntary or involuntary. So the names in parentheses, HR puts those there so that they can keep track of who vacated the position to help them keep track. So those are ones that have vacated the position.
Okay. And then the report indicates you have a total of 23 positions listed. Of the 23 positions, only 12 positions are classified as emergency communication dispatchers.
12 are 4 dispatchers, yes, sir. We have 4 supervisors.
And out of these 12 positions, only 3 are identified as vacant.
3 of the dispatch positions are vacant. I have not hired any administrative personnel. I don't want to do that until I've got my floor full. Because right now, all my admin people are working consoles. So I didn't want to hire someone that wasn't able to dispatch and leave a dispatch position open.
So the reason that I'm asking the question is because the contract says we're asking for 5 contractors.
Yes.
So does that mean that it's going to be 3 dispatchers?
There's
Plus
5.
2 additional other positions?
No, sir, we've hired 5 recruits. It will be about 9 months until they can dispatch. So the 5 that we've requested will be actually be filling dispatch positions while we send the 5 that we've hired to the academy and get them certified. They won't be ready. It's like a police officer. They can't dispatch in the state of New Mexico until they're certified and trained.
Okay. And also according to the contract with Rescue 911, as I understand it, the city will be paying a total of $264,000 for 5 contractors for a total of 960 hours or 6 months. And I think you just answered the question on that one. So you'll have people, at least 2 of them hired, but 2 of them are gonna come and replace them while they are in training.
Yes, sir. We will, I think I understand your question. We're gonna wean off of the service as the dispatchers get released to work. So that's a worst case scenario with the hours. Because we just can't tell if they're gonna make it all the way through the training. But as they get released, we will send the contractors back. I hope I understood your question correctly.
Oh, you did. Thank you. And it looks like we've had this problem for quite a while.
Yes, sir. COVID hit 2 months after I got here. And it's been a challenge, yes, sir.
Because it seems like we only have like 2 individuals that I would imagine have been here more than 5 years. Because they're on step 18 and 11.
Yes, sir.
And everybody else is on 1, 2, 3.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, it's an industry issue. The actual reason I found out about Rescue 911 is because Alamogordo Tularosa Basin was in the same situation and they used them, so they recommended them. So New Mexico's having a big problem, but it is nationwide right now. It's very hard.
So what would you say the average vacancy per month is on an average?
Like vacant positions?
Vacant positions in the dispatch only, not the other supporting.
So for just dispatch positions, because like I said, I've kept the admin positions, I haven't hired for the admin positions. Just dispatch, we've maintained about 7 for quite some time. Right now, we're at 3.
You have 5 down?
We're at 3 now. It just takes so long to get them trained before we can put them on the floor.
Because I also noticed that you have a training coordinator vacancy.
Yeah, right. I just put in paperwork to put someone in that position to help me. I've been doing it.
Is that position a true trainer?
It's a training coordinator, so it's someone who does training, who trains training personnel so that they can train. It's a state actual position in the training department.
A state position?
You're certified as a training coordinator with the state, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And one I don't know if this is a question for you or not. But I noticed on the contract itself, I don't even have it here. It talked about it had a couple of notations, and then one of them indicated something about overtime and holiday pay. But in the contract itself, I didn't see anything to cover overtime. Is that above and beyond what the contract says?
It is part of the hours, it's just a different rate, is my understanding. So we've got the contract, if they work, like for instance, on Memorial Day, if that is their shift, because they work a shift just like a normal dispatcher would, if their shift falls on that day, they don't get holiday pay like a full-time person would, so their rate is higher if they work on the actual holiday.
But if they consider to be paid overtime, I don't have the actual contract here, but here it is.
So if I may, that might help with this, we turn in a timesheet to get Rescue 911 with the hours that they work and what days they are, and then we're billed based on the hours we submit to them.
Well, there's a couple of notations. One of them says bi-monthly invoice will reflect any optional overtime hours per employee in arrears. What exactly does that mean?
If they work overtime that are not submitted, is my understanding, but we haven't run into that.
Somebody has hours in arrears?
We have not had that happen. That would be if the timesheet was not correct, is my understanding. But the timesheets are submitted weekly, so they're kept pretty accurate.
Yeah, and the overtime holiday pay will be paid at $82 an hour instead of the 55.
It's quite expensive. They're paid not to be at home. They don't have medical benefits and things like that, so it is expensive. I would like to get them, they're helping, they're wonderful, but I would like to get them out of here as fast as I can.
I don't blame you. You know, I was having a hard time with this because I'm not a proponent of privatization. And then, to me, this is kind of like the first step of going down that road, and I hope we don't. You know,
Truthfully,
when we
Councilman,
pay,
if I hadn't been at a breaking point, I wouldn't have gone that direction. We were at a breaking point. My team knows that they get paid more than they do, and they're okay with it because they were that exhausted.
that was another one of my questions.
Yeah, we had that conversation. We made the decision as a team to try to bring some benefit.
So, we've got 6 months
Yes.
with this contract.
We're at the end of this one. We're at the end of this one. This one ends in August.
So this is the second?
This is a ratification request for the budget adjustment that was done in December.
I guess I'm lost. Are we, it looks like we already approved one contract?
For 6 months, yes, sir.
So this is the second time?
Are you talking about the budget request for fiscal 26?
No, I'm just talking about the contract.
Oh, no, this is the original. No, this is not additional. This is a ratification request for the original. I did put a request to keep them for another 6 months in the fiscal year 2026 because my recruits won't be ready until about January.
Okay, well.
But this is not the full, so the 345,000, I don't need further money on that. I found what I needed from my budget.
Because my question was or is, at the end of these 6 months of this contract,
Yes, sir.
what is the plan in place to not do another contract?
I'm expecting to need 6 more months because my recruits won't be ready until January because they have to go to the state academy, August and September. And if they don't get into that one, it might be November. Recruitment is a big thing. We are starting a program in the high schools in the fall where they'll graduate as emergency telecommunicators. So they'll have 40 hours of high school training that they get high school credit for, introducing them to the industry, so maybe bring some interest in the community so we'll get applications and good candidates. And I'm working on a pay plan that might make us competitive with Lee County and Eddy County.
Well, you know, personally, I think, as a council, we need to look at, and it's not just this positions, it's throughout the city, that we really need to look at salaries. Because, I mean, we've done it for the police, we've done it for the fire, and of course.
I appreciate it. We can't compete with the surrounding counties right now.
So my next question to you is to get your opinion as to what do you believe the problem is? That we're not able to recruit and retain.
The hiring pool is very shallow here. You have to be able to pass an extensive background check. We go to the law enforcement academy, so the backgrounds here are just like as if you were going into law enforcement, and that unfortunately gets a lot of candidates that do not qualify. That's why we're trying to go into the high schools to get them early before maybe they get into trouble, so that we can get them interested, get them under our wing so we can guide them into the future. I think the youth are maybe the future of it.
You know, and I think there's a lot of reasons why people don't stay on the job, you know. But I think we do have to look at several things, several factors to see if some of those are not contributing to the fact that they're leaving. And I thank you for your service and your people, because I think they are the backbones of the police department and the fire department.
We appreciate your support.
So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Halverson.
So, Councilor Lopez and other councilors that are here, since I've been a counselor on public safety, Ms. Best has been coming to me every meeting saying, you know, she's having trouble getting people hired. So this is an ongoing problem. And I know Ms. Best and Ms. Harry have been working a lot of overtime, crazy hours, and everything, trying to fill in for their people. And in the finance committee meeting, I did talk to our city manager about possibly trying, because we wrote it in that we could use the emergency tax for salaries, because I think that's a big problem, not just with dispatchers, but with fire, police, we can't, like she said, we can't compete with like Eddy County. So I've asked Chad to look at maybe increasing the salaries so we can be competitive, if not even higher than the other, so we can start stealing from them. Because this is just not dispatch, this is an ongoing problem with all the emergency services. It's across the city with every department, you know, not being paid enough. But our emergency services are critical, and if we don't have the proper people, and I don't like paying this kind of money, and I know you have to, though, that's the problem.
Well,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council.
you know, and I appreciate that, but sometimes when you look at the numbers, if you look at the numbers that are here in the contract, some of these individuals that are coming in are making a lot more money than probably some of the supervisors that are there.
They do, sir.
And I did bring that up in the finance committee, because I did ask her, I go, I'm worried about our other employees, you know, because it's up to $82 an hour. But she said she did talk to her other staff and they.
Yeah, we did. I had a discussion before we made the decision to ask for them. And I worked 27 straight days in December. So and that's because my team just didn't have anything left in them. They're tired.
And you said you did get one of these contractors that's coming over to us now, right, too?
No, ma'am, I'm not sure where that came from.
Oh, okay.
There's one that wants
Who
to,
wants to?
but I don't believe that,
Oh, okay.
I don't believe that's gonna happen.
But your concerns are things we brought up in finance meeting because it is a
They
problem.
do have a non-compete clause with me, though, they can't take any of mine.
Yeah, that's good.
I made sure of that.
Well, good luck to you.
Yes, sir. And if I may, Councilor Corn doesn't have to tell me twice, my plan's almost finished.
Any further questions? You know, as somebody who's called dispatch for a number of things, when you're out and you see things, it's amazing the knowledge what they have and how well these individuals work. It's a real blessing having a consolidated dispatch where one group controls it all. And I know when Neil Rowe called me at 12:12 on the 19th in that flood, when I called dispatch, I got Eddie County Dispatch, and I was number 261. And that's because these guys were so overwhelmed, that's how far back I was. So I thank you very much for your dedication to your job, and thank you because, you know, I've called dispatch from everything from a water leak, because they all know who to call to get.
It pops up on the screen.
Who to get, so you know, they do a really good job, and if you see an accident or something, I mean, it's good to do, and it's good to know, and then if you call the state police now, you go all the way to Las Cruces, 506, right, but I mean, that's where you go when you call the state police in Roswell. So, you know, and it's not their 622-7200, it's, that's dispatch, you go in there when you have something. So these individuals do a good job, and it's a good job. And a lot of people just like being at home and being in charge of helping people. So thank you all very much and your team. And, you know, sometimes we probably ought to go have lunch with them all or something sometime, but, thank you all. Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Corn and a second by Councilor Arnold. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Halverson?
Yes.
Councilor Oropesa?
Yes.
Councilor Moore?
Yes.
Councilor Corn?
Yes.
Councilor Cortez? Councilor Hildebrand?
Aye.
Councilor Arnold?
Yes.
Councilor Johnson?
Yes.
Councilor Marujo?
Yes.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. And next we have item 20, no, we have to do 24. Approve the award the Hobson Flood Mitigation Project to constructors in the amount of $7.5 million plus, which includes the gross receipts tax. Councilor Corn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve the award of the Hobson Flood Mitigation Project Contractors Incorporated.
Second. I have a motion by Councilor Corn and a second by Councilor Johnson. Okay. Okay. Mr. Engineer, our new engineer, welcome in your new title and to your new job. Don't goof it up.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, councilors, this item is to consider approval of the award of Hobson Flood Mitigation Project to Constructors Incorporated in the amount of $7,513,529.03, which includes GRT. We received bids on May 13th, 2025 for that project. A bid tabulation is in your packet. We received 3 bids on the project. Funding is per the Water Trust Board agreement, WPF 5949. The balance available on that agreement is $8,551,262. That Water Trust Board agreement is 87% grant, it's 13% loan. So using that breakdown on the award to constructors, that would mean of the constructors award, $6,536,770.26 would be grant, and $976,758.77 would be loan. Just a little bit of background on the project. The funding agreement was approved by City Council April 2024. We issued an RFP for design at the end of April 2024. Nichols was selected to perform the design in July 2024. The design was completed in March 2025 and put out to bid March 23rd, 2025. And again, like I said, bids were received back May 15th, 2025, and Constructors Incorporated is the low bidder. I will stand for questions.
Any questions? Mr. Johnson, Councilor Johnson.
Yes, 13% loan. Remind everybody what the percentage rate is on that.
0.25%.
Right. Awesome. Thank you.
And the term of that loan, James?
I'm sorry, sir?
The length of loan, 20 years?
The repayment schedule goes out to 2045.
20 years.
20 years, that's pretty good. I think it's good with your math.
You guys got it.
That's $48,000 a year.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, Councilor Corn.
Mr. Mayor, if we look, if we amended it in this meeting, I voted against this project. And let me explain what my concern is. I think this is a great project. Problem is, it needs to be done for 3 decades. And right now, the budget that we passed, and of course I know it's all fluid, and we've got revenues of $130.5 million. And our total debt is 71, and that includes this project, although I'm not sure what the bottom final figure is really gonna be, because we just put $600,000 change order on the water towers. So this is fuzzy math, if you will, because we don't have the bottom line yet. So if my calculations are correct, then our revenue to debt ratio is 55%. I figured it right. And every year, this next year, we're gonna pay out $6.5 million for all of our indebtedness. Now, you might ask, which fund does this come out of? Well, some of our indebtedness goes to our various enterprise funds, some of it's general fund. This was a general fund debt that's coming off. So I just did rough math on this thing. So I'm really concerned. And the other thing is, we're not responsible for this mess, Mr. Mayor. We've got the gross receipts tax series that was done back in 2015, has a final maturity date of August 1st, 2027. Well, that's still down the road, and the payment on that one's around $350,000. The next project that we're going to pay off is August of 2029. That was promulgated back in February of 18, and that's airport funds. And the bill on that for this year is right at $250,000. And I'm just concerned, this is a great project. It's a lot different than the water towers that that's one that we can all count on, because we did it. But that was an emergency. Nobody can tell me how much water we lost while those tanks out there have been leaking. Therefore, we can't equate back to the amount of money we spent pumping that water out there on the ground, out there on 6 Mile Hill. We don't know. Nobody knows. I'm trying to get people to figure out how to calculate it.
there's as many things out there as it was. I guess we got the first one about done. When's that one complete?
The first tank will be done in July.
Okay, in July. So that's a good thing, and that's actually gonna save us a little wear and tear on our pumps and all the infrastructure that takes the abuse. So that's why I'm opposed to this. This isn't a must-do right now kind of proposal. I think it's a great proposal. I've been waiting through that creek every time it rains out there for a long, long time. And I'd like to see it fixed. I think it's a great idea, but it's been playing in need for a long, long time. And I'm just concerned about the financial situation, Mr. Mayor. That's all.
Thank you, Councilor Corn. Any further comment? Seeing none, if the clerk would call the roll.
Counselor Halverson?
Yes.
Counselor Oropesa?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Counselor Corn?
No.
Counselor Cortez?
Yes.
Counselor Hildenbrand?
Aye.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
Counselor Johnson?
Yes.
Counselor Marujo?
No.
Okay, by a vote of 7-2, the motion is duly passed. I remind you that I should have said this before, we have to have 6 votes to pass that. Okay.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed your new position.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we have, we did 25 to consent. Next we have ordinance 26. This is ordinance 25-04 to authorize to advertise for public hearing to consider the ordinance of 25-04 amending chapter 7 regarding mobile food establishment itinerant vendors. Councilman Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that we authorize to advertise for a public hearing to consider proposed ordinance 25-04, amending chapter 7 regarding mobile food establishments. Go right ahead. We're just moving to advertise, correct?
Correct.
Sit down.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to, Councilor Arnold seconded it. First,
She's kind of in a hurry.
she was in such a rush, she didn't even wait to let it.
Stop it, yes.
So, okay, on a motion to advertise this for a public hearing, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll and take 6.
Counselor Halverson?
Yes.
Counselor Oropesa?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Yes.
Counselor Corn?
Yes.
Counselor Cortez? Aye. Counselor Hildebrand?
Aye.
Counselor Arnold?
Yes.
Counselor Johnson?
Yes.
Counselor Marujo?
Yes. By a vote of 9 in the affirmative, none in the negative, this item 26 is duly passed to have a public hearing. Mr. Cole, would you please stand up and give us all your announcements in 5 words or less?
Yes, sir, Mayor Jennings, members of the council, I'll make it brief tonight. Great job with our frontline workers this evening. I think the main thing is you're gonna be seeing a couple of things coming down the pipeline as we get closer to our new fiscal year, start of our new fiscal year, July 1. As we are speaking, inspections continue to go forward with FEMA. We've got several projects moving through the phases within their portal. Those inspections are anticipated to continue for the next 3 weeks. This week was Parks and Recreation Building, so those things are moving forward. We will be putting together, and of course we're working with State Homeland Security, a grant application, or not an application for zero interest revolving loan funds through the state. Senate Bill 31 would be the reference point on that. We'll be ready for that when it's available. We want to be first in line. Of course, we'll be sharing with Rio Doso, Las Vegas, other communities that have been hard hit. So we'll be moving those forward. Another topic of interest that you'll be seeing an application submitted from the city of Roswell Water Trust Board at the state of New Mexico level has received $366 million through legislative appropriation for the new fiscal year starting July 1. I have asked Mr. Valdez, our water superintendent, to get in place from his master plan a priority list that would peel off at least $10 million of projects that we can submit for and start doing that on an annual basis to replace Roswell's infrastructure that sorely needs to be replaced. I think that's both manageable in terms of projects we can finish and projects that we can be awarded. And once we get that cycle very similar to the school district with its construction, we show some success, more money will come, more projects will come. And that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you, sir.
Councilor Howard.
The Brenham.
Oh, yes, I was gonna keep it brief, so let me,
I drove by the other day, it's a mess.
yes, we've got some really good news on the Brenham Stadium, not some good news. So I think it's important, the mayor, the city attorney, and I reached out to the Roswell Independent School District School Board, and I think it's important that we thank our school board for pushing this forward to get the Roswell Independent School District Maintenance Department out there to clear the trash and debris that accumulated during the flood. So last week, I believe it was, they sent out 7 trucks with their maintenance and groundskeeping crews. They have cleared off that debris, so you'll notice that when you're passing by, the debris has been removed. They have not mowed, that's understandable. They are working with their insurer. They leased that facility from the city of Roswell for $1 per year. Per their lease contract, very similar to the Wool Bowl, by the way, $1 per year. They are required to keep up with the maintenance and repairs of that facility. So part of that is clearing the debris. The other part is clearing metal objects, small fragments that might be in the ground, and addressing the sprinkler systems, etc. Their insurance company has emailed back and forth with Mr. Itema and I, and they are bidding out the contracts for those repairs right now. So kudos to the school board, in particular, Mr. Edwards, for his help in moving that forward. We'll continue to press that issue so we can get our Brenham Stadium back. And Mayor and I would like to visit with school board members with regard to scheduling New Mexico Military Institute football games over at Wool Bowl in coordination with the Roswell Independent Schools going forward. Is that it?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further comment? Seeing none, Mr. Burris is gonna, if you all hadn't noticed any problem with the pool, he's gonna instruct his people about being sure you turn off the pumps before you shut the valves. And he's gonna work on that. He's gonna send them to the pump school, and so everything will be good. And is there anything else to come before the council? Seeing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you all for being here.